Despite Mercedes' struggles, which resulted in Lewis Hamilton finishing the 2022 season without a single win for the first time in his career, the Brit is set to sign an insane multi-year contract extension before the new season begins in March. This deal is expected to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, putting everyone else in the field to shame, but it could actually spell disaster for Mercedes in the future. Let's take a look at the details of the new deal, how Mercedes has responded to the rumors, and why we believe the new deal is good news for Hamilton's main rival, Max Verstappen. With Hamilton's current contract set to expire at the end of 2023 and the 7-time world champion committed to Formula One for the foreseeable future, both parties are focused on reaching an agreement on a new contract. Hamilton initially signed a 1-year contract for 2021 shortly before pre-season testing, but later signed a multi-year extension that will keep him in Formula One until the end of 2023. And team boss Toto Wolff claims that it will only take a few hours of wrangling to finalize a deal that commits Hamilton to Mercedes beyond that time frame. "We have a full year to go," Wolff said. "We're so aligned. In the last 10 years, our relationship has grown, and it's just a matter of him physically being back in Europe, sticking our heads together, wrestling a bit, and then leaving the room with white smoke after a few hours. When a successful or highly rated Formula One driver is potentially on the market, rival teams will start sniffing around, as Red Bull did with Lando Norris before he agreed to his long-term McLaren extension." However, Hamilton, a 7-time champion with the most wins, poles, and podiums in the series' history, is a driver that every team would love to sign. But it is the Mercedes team with which Hamilton has become so integrated that almost certainly feels like the team with which Hamilton will finish his career. Yes, the combination of Max Verstappen and Hamilton at Red Bull would be must-see mayhem, but that is a path that Red Bull will never take, whereas Ferrari appear to have their long-term lineup set with Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, a dream move for Hamilton in the past, but one that never came close to happening. Returning to McLaren appears to be a midfield project that is too late for Hamilton, so Mercedes appears to be the only viable option, which is why Wolff is correct in expecting this new contract to be signed soon. Nonetheless, the new contract information may be bad news for Lewis Hamilton fans everywhere. According to a report from the French news outlet 20 Minutes, the potential size of the new contract, what Hamilton would do after retiring, and would pay for it all are all discussed. Hamilton has been offered a contract worth $76 million per year for the 2024 and 2025 seasons, according to the report. This is a 55% raise from his current base salary of $49 million. It is also the same amount he would earn, including a bonus, if he won the F1 championship under his current contract. In other words, the new deal will now pay him as if he wins the championship every year, even if he doesn't. According to 20 Minutes, Hamilton is also seeking an additional contract to serve as a Mercedes ambassador after retirement, which would pay him $270 million over 10 years. If the two parties agree on these figures and Hamilton retires after the 2025 season, he will earn a whopping $470 million over the next 13 years, including the final year of his current contract. According to the report, Jim Ratcliffe, founder of Mercedes sponsor Ineos, would finance 90% of the new contract, up from 33% now. Ratcliffe is also a Mercedes F1 shareholder and Hamilton's close friend. The pair has been even mentioned as potential future owners of Premier League club Manchester United. In an interview, Hamilton mentioned a possible collaboration. "Jim's part boss, but partner. I'd say we're more partners because we're in this together, and I hope in the future to do something with Jim and build with him," Hamilton told the Manchester Evening News last September. "I don't know where that will be or what that will be, so I can't really say. Haven't had a call from him asking if I want to be involved in the United bid just yet, but I do want to get more and more involved in teams because I really do believe in black ownership. There is a lack of it in sports. And black equity, again, there is a real lack of that. So what's the bad news for Hamilton fans here? Remember all the talk about winning the World Championship and receiving a bonus? Well, according to the French report, no such clause will be included in the new contract, implying that Hamilton and Mercedes are not particularly confident of dethroning Max Verstappen and Red Bull following their blisteringly fast start to the new era of Formula One. In a recent interview, Verstappen stated that if you fall behind after major rule changes, it can take a long time to catch up, while the leaders continue to improve. The 25-year-old compared the current situation to the last major rule change, when Red Bull took several years to even come close to Mercedes in the championship. Remember, Verstappen finished last year with a 146-point lead in the final driver's standings, having mathematically won his second championship with 4 races remaining remaining after winning in Japan. And as thorough as that appeared to be, Red Bull chief engineer Paul Monaghan believes the Dutch driver can outperform himself in 2023. Max is technically extremely gifted. He did a lot of work as a youngster, often guided by his father, and you can see the legacy of that. He knows what he's talking about within the car, and he knows what he wants, Monaghan explained. With his engineers, they know how to deliver a car that he finds nicely balanced, easy to drive. Well, not necessarily easy to drive, but drivable. It looks after its tires well enough that he can manage a situation. If you look at his record over the past seasons he's been with us, it's stunning. He wouldn't achieve that if he wasn't an exceptional driver. Can he improve? Yes, of course he can. He might not thank me for saying that. There are areas he can get a little better. He'll dig into himself and think, what could he do better for a season? And it's up to us to give him a car to go and demonstrate those skills. But we'd be lying if we said Hamilton's contract is set in stone for the time being. It's all rumor and speculation. In fact, Mercedes has already addressed the allegations in a new fan update. Instead, a spokesperson for Silver Arrows stated unequivocally that negotiations between the two parties had not even begun. Obviously, the winter doesn't stop the rumor mill, and it's been entertaining to read speculation about contract discussions when they haven't yet begun. The rumors seem to have started on a French blog with which we don't have a relationship and are pretty wild in terms of what they suggest. Toto stated on record last Friday that discussions haven't yet begun, and that's exactly the situation. However, Mercedes' latest statement appears to confirm other concerns, namely that the two parties' talks have been postponed. Despite Wolff's assurances, Hamilton recently admitted that the two had yet to meet to negotiate terms. "We haven't started yet. So far, there has been no time for this. We were on the road." All eyes are now on Mercedes as the team attempts to recover from a disastrous 2022 season, and it's safe to say that the performance of the 2023 Challenger will play a significant role in that. And while Lewis Hamilton is no slouch, it is clear that now, more than ever in his career, the Brit is considering what he will do once retirement knocks on the door, which could indicate that he will retire sooner rather than later. Indeed, he has spoken extensively about his post-racing career ambitions. He is already well known for his love of music and has established the Hamilton Commission and Mission 44, both of which aim to increase diversity in motorsport and the wider workplace. Hamilton is also working on a racing-related film starring Brad Pitt, indicating that his interests extend beyond his sole career focus of Formula One. But by doing so, he is preparing himself for life after professional sports, though he and father Anthony admit they may not be able to stay away from the track entirely. When I've spoken to other athletes, we focus so much on being the best you can be in that one thing that the other things that you love, like if it's playing an instrument or if it's writing scripts, it all falls. Everything falls away, Hamilton explained on a podcast. How can you compartmentalize staying in the zone and the focus lane, but also build up some of those other skills and discover other passions? You know, you've heard people tell LeBron James, shut up and dribble. Like, there's a lot of people who put you in a box and say this, you can only do one thing. But as I've seen and spoken to some people that are active and retired, a lot of them say, particularly when they retire, that everything kind of fell apart. Like everything fell to the ground, they had nothing to back it up with, and they hadn't discovered what they're doing next. So I genuinely feel today that I have lots of things in the pipeline that when I do stop, it's going to be like, so grateful for F1, but I have something better that I'm moving on to. So far, nothing has been determined. What are the specifics of Hamilton's contract? All of this adds up to the intriguing puzzle that will undoubtedly become a hot topic in the coming years. So, how do you feel about the contract rumors? If the figures are true, will it have a big impact on how long Lewis Hamilton might stay in F1? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. We appreciate any and all support, so if you enjoyed the video and want to see more, please leave a like, subscribe and click the bell to receive notifications. We hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.